time for you to know and for us to start a show. Have a drink and take a seat here on Brewsic and Boozies.
Oh.
It's funny. It tells me it's recording now. It's like recording in progress. That's an update.
Oh, it like flashes
Yeah, I never had that before.
So I'm not like sneakily recording you without your knowledge.
Inside. I guess a lot of people in Zoom are just like finding out they get in trouble for recording. Not us. We don't care.
No. We just think we're talking to air and like not recording it. It's a happy accident every time we record something.
Mm-hmm. Oops. Guess we'll post that.
Oopsie.
Oops.
That's for the thumbnail. We're back for another exciting week. Coming off of a new movie. We did Psycho Goreman last week, which is a very new movie. And now we're talking about something that's new, but has many Easter eggs for the old 80s and 90s movies that we love. What are we talking about, Chris? What movie is it?
We're talking about the Spielberg film called Ready Player One.
Oh, yeah.
Which I have to mention first before we get into the movie and before we talk about what we're actually drinking here on Brewsic and Boozies. I believe I told you to go see this movie.
I think you did.
Yeah,
I think you did. Because I remember you get
like you're going to be surprised about the middle act in this movie, and I was like, "This is up your alley."
Yeah, you're right.
Remember?
Right. Because I had no idea. You're right. And then
Becky's going to like this movie.
You did tell me to go see this. I think I saw this twice in the movies, which I rarely do. I don't go to the movies more than once ever. I took my mom and she fell asleep.
Yeah, our parents, same with my parents. I think my mom liked it. My dad fell asleep. They saw it like on their own time though. They just went to the theaters to go see a movie.
Yeah, my mom's always like, I like that movie. And I'm like, oh well, you fell asleep.
It's long.
It is pretty long. And she's
wake
not
up and still know what's happening.
Future fan. She's not like, it's just like nostalgia type thing.
It's a pop culture store mixed all in one in a video game, and it's just,
yeah.
I think we get all the references. They get some of them.
Yeah.
And it happens so fast. So, but So, do you want to give us a little introduction to the kind of background of the movie first, or you want to just go right into deep dive and talk about your first experiences besides what you just shared literally 2 seconds ago? Just your first thoughts, initial thoughts.
First of all, let's talk about what we're drinking.
Okay, I agree.
Let's do that first. So I have Orangewood Hazy IPA, and I think it's made. Oh, I'm in California. Surprise!
She's just traveling across states. I've been where I started.
That's not true. You went somewhere recently. It wasn't on the podcast, but
Still
you did travel
state,
somewhere.
But sure.
True. But yes, I am in California now. And this is brewed right here in Orange, California. And I really like hazy IPAs. I don't know if you've ever had one, Chris. I'm sure you being with me, you probably have at one point.
If my body can afford any heavy beer, I would definitely get back into drinking them. But I have to keep my girlish figure. So,
Your girlish
one day figure. I'll have a beer or two.
When I'm back, I'll force you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm drinking. It's made by Gunwhale, which it's this cute little whale. Look how cute he is. My gross fingers.
He's got
it's very good. I like it a lot. I guess he has a gun. I don't know. Unless a gunwhale, someone let us know. Is a gunwhale a thing that I'm not aware of?
Is he related to a sperm whale? Just wondering.
Oh, I don't even have words. I don't know what to say back to that.
That might be the dirtiest thing I've ever said on our show.
Oh man, not made for kids. We're gonna get dinged.
I've been watching a lot of Who's Line lately, so my brain is just going everywhere.
You're here with the zings. What are you drinking?
So I'm drinking my fresh brew of, you know it, and you love it, New England hazelnut creme coffee, and a little bit of my special E-Dubs bourbon. And
I saw it in when I was in Texas. I went to a coffee shop and they had it in the coffee shop. And I was like, oh, I should do a Chris special.
It's really not bad. I mean, I'm just used to it though, too. And it's just like, if I want coffee, which I can't get enough of because I don't know, I'm an addict now. But if it's just like, I want to have that little edge of just relaxing, I'm like, yeah, put that in there. It tastes delicious. So I like it. It's a little balance of sweet and that little bitter that you get from the bourbon. So I like it.
Yeah. One day I'll have to try it.
So I just want to, maybe if it's all right with you, I'm going to tell you about my first experience with this movie.
Go for it.
Saw the trailer, loved the trailer. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a really fun movie, no matter what. I was just like, it could be terrible or good. It has everything I'd probably want out of it, no matter what. And I'm like, Spielberg's doing it. I got to see it. And all the critics liked it at the time. I think it got good reviews. So, but as I recommended this movie to you, it was obviously recommended to me by our close friend Jimmy, who was on our last episode of Brewsic and Boozies. So he's just like, dude. And I'm just like, what? He's like, dude. So I'm just like, so we went to go see it together. I was very excited to see it. I'm pretty sure we saw it in 3D. So.
Oh, I think I did too.
Did you see it in 3D?
I think I did, yeah.
I think that was like only thing available, maybe too. I want to say to go see it. At the time, I wanted to see it.
Maybe.
But I think I wanted to see it in 3D though too. To see if there's anything, because it's like, virtual reality world and this video game world, and I'm just like, I'm sure there's some fun visuals there that you won't get from the 2D, and it holds up after seeing it in 3D or 2D. You get a little dizzy, I think, with the 3D and even the 2D, but definitely more on the 3D side. But I remember just being just overwhelmed with all the coolness in this movie and just like all the pop culture references and just how it's just like you said, it just has so much for the 80s fans and it really, I didn't know much about the novel that this movie is clearly based on. The Ready Player One book that a lot of people did read and said it was awesome. And then for those fans or people who read it can kind of see what they're doing differently with this movie. So yeah, that's really it. I liked it. I loved it. I still love it. Every time I watch it, I find something new and funny. But I still, I have the same experience almost every time I watch it, which I love.
Yeah.
I don't feel like nothing diminishes, nothing gets better.
Yeah, nothing gets boring. Like I love this movie
every
too.
time I watch it. Yeah.
I think I've seen this movie more than any other movie that I've ever seen. Like rewatching it.
I think it's one of my top favorite movies in the last 10 years.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you. I would put it up there too.
5 output. Like, I don't even know. Has it been over 5 years now? Maybe it's over 5 years. No, wait.
Maybe.
2017? So not quite. Sorry, not quite.
4 years. That's 4 years. Almost.
Yeah, we're getting there, but.
Which is crazy to think about.
I know.
But yeah, this is the one instant, because you always say that you remember trailers, and I never remember the trailers, but I remember this trailer and going,
Super Bowl.
Oh, I really have to see that. Oh yeah, maybe,
we were watching a Super Bowl. I remember seeing a trailer. Then I'm like, oh, that's gonna be cool.
But they really plugged like,
yeah, and it
they
was
really
Rush.
plugged
I
Back
think
to
it
the
was
Future
like,
too.
what was the Rush song in the trailer?
Is it was the song Gilded Age?
Sawyer?
No. Oh, is it Tom Sawyer? Maybe I don't remember.
Yeah, I feel like that was in the trailer. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong on that. But that's what comes to
Yeah, because I don't remember. I remember the trail. Like
they're all running
was like,
the
whoa.
car. That's all I remember. I'm like, what is this movie?
All
right, sorry, but there you go.
Yeah, it has such a good rewatch value though. Like I can watch it whenever I see it. Like it's on HBO Max, right?
Now it's on HBO Max, which is so nice.
Whenever I come across
it wants to work.
like true. I know you had an issue with watching it like last week. I see it. I'm like, I don't really want to watch anything new and pay attention. I love this movie. I'm just gonna put it on and watch it, and like never am disappointed.
It sucks you in though. I always think
Mhm.
I'm like, all right, I'll watch a little bit and call it a day. I'm like, I keep watching it. I can't stop. That's such a fun.
Yeah.
Every minute, just like the next thing. Just
I
paces
have
so well.
to read the novel because I heard
Mhm.
there's a lot of differences between the novel and the movie. There's no
Yes.
shining in the novel, but they
No.
do have like a whole Princess Bride thing, I think, at one point in the novel, which
Makes sense.
Princess Bride
80s.
is my favorite movie of all time. So I need to read the novel.
Is it real? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it
And
is
I only
my
saw
favorite
that.
movie
Did
ever.
I tell you? I only saw that this year when they put it on Disney Plus. I finally got to see that movie.
Oh yeah, I think you told me, which is
I loved it,
shocking to me.
but I was like, wow, it took me this long to see. I just think it was never in the interest of like Princess Bride. I probably just thought it was a movie, like some romantic, cheesy movie or something at the time. Didn't know there was like this kind of
They don't.
80s
I think
classic.
maybe like AMC used to play it all the time, but like it wasn't on
Mhm.
TV or anything, so there's no
But
reason.
it was always like towards the middle end, and I'm like, I want to see this movie from the beginning.
It's so good. Also based
Um,
on a novel.
Sorry, I wish I can get Macaroni down here for you. She's upstairs sleeping.
Oh, Chris's dog sitting, the
Yeah.
cutest dog.
Sharp
She's a big
hound.
mush.
She's great.
She's
She's a big
so
mush.
adorable. She got this little wrinkly, mushy face.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait there. She just looks at me and just goes, like her tail's like come on. Rub my belly.
Oh, cutie.
Okay, so also I had I just thought of this. So I never read the full book, but I was working at the school at the time, and the classroom I was kind of supervising in, it was like their homeroom class. So a lot of kids were just doing homework or whatever, hanging out. So I just sat in the back of the classroom, and somebody left a Ready Player One book there. Just like, and it must have been, they forgot it there, but it was just sitting there. So every morning I'd come in, I'd read Ready Player One. And I was just like, oh, this book is so fun. I'm like, I wish I need to buy it. I will probably. And I don't know if I borrowed Jimmy's. No, I don't think so. I have other books of his, but I remember reading it every morning. It's like how I started my day, with Ready Player One, and trying to pick up the differences because I saw the movie first. So it's a fun thing, and it's just like this writer is clearly an 80s fanatic who's like obsessive, and he is like a savant of the 80s knowledge.
To me, I picture
yeah.
Who is the one who creates the Oasis? I can't think of his name. Oh my god.
James Halliday.
Yes, I picture him as the writer envisioned himself in that that character.
Yeah, I'm sure he's probably a little bit in him and Parzival and all the other kind of head figures, but definitely I would see that one. Yeah.
Maybe we should give a little context. I'm sure people are watching this and they're like, I've seen this movie, but just as context,
go for it.
This he's a video game creator. He creates this virtual world where you can kind of lose yourself fully into it. And he dies, and he starts this competition to find a legit Easter egg in his world in order to take over the Oasis and have full creative control, kind of like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, and it says it, I think, on the book. This is the Matrix with Willy Wonka, or something in Willy Wonka. That's the premise.
So there are
very much from Willy Wonka.
Holiday super fans that are trying to find the Easter egg. They're kind of poor. They live in these things called the stacks in Ohio, which are like campers, like stacked on top of each
RVs,
other. Yeah. And they're trying to find that Easter egg, and they're once they all collectively form a group, they are like massive super geniuses, and they're able to, win the whole competition. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
That's like the summary is awful, but
the whole world is tapped into this thing. It's not like this. There's just nothing good around, so they rather live in this Matrix, Oasis world to escape from
there's
the things of reality.
Big corporation also trying to find the Easter egg because they want to take over this very successful game. So they're trying to, they basically imprison people and hold them for not extortion. What am I thinking of? They don't extort them, but They're like,
I'm
the
trying to think
people
of the
are
word
like
now.
indebted to them. So they hold them against their will in order to pay back their debt and work for them. And they try to find the Easter egg for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically the premise of the movie.
Yeah.
There's some wacky wild characters here and there.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we should just dive into the cast real fast, even though we don't see them right away because of the avatars that they pretend to be. And we don't learn some of them until almost the very end of the movie, which is amazing. And I love those twists when you kind of find out who these people really are in the real world compared to their avatars in the Oasis. But you meet Peter Parker. I'm sorry. I mean, Wade Watts in the beginning.
Who was named that because it sounded like a superhero.
Yeah. And he lives with his uncle and his aunt, but they're kind of mean and annoying. You know?
Yeah.
I think every good mythology of a character has to start off with, you know, they're 19, their parents are dead, they live with an aunt and uncle.
Yeah, complete depravity. They don't have anything.
I think it was Luke Skywalker.
Oh, and Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Anybody else? Am I forgetting?
Frodo Baggins.
But yeah,
maybe?
it's classic mythology tropes that you see, which I like. I actually enjoy that stuff, but you see it over and over again.
Yeah. Then you have, of course, Holiday. And then his companion, Simon Pegg's character. Wow, I can't think of his name. Morrow.
Ogden.
Morrow. Ogden Morrow.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Ogden Morrow.
Call him Og, they say. Call him Og.
Yeah, Og. And they had a business, and then Holiday left and created the Oasis, right? Or no, Holiday signed away the Oasis to Ogden Morrow or something like that. I forgot. I forgot what happened.
No, that's basically it.
Yeah, or he signed away his company. Yeah,
right.
Something
he
like
signed it to him, and he became pretty much controller of it.
Yeah. Then we have Artemis, who is kind of Wade / Parzival's love interest. Which I always
is a significant
refer to
player
her
in the Oasis too. She has this like fame for being so good.
She's very good. Yeah, she's very good. She has a lot of
no
stuff.
one really sees her.
Yeah, I always refer to her as the girl from Bates Motel.
Bates Motel.
I don't know if you watched that show.
I was gonna say she's awesome. I forgot her name on that show. What was her name?
I don't remember. She had COPD.
And she loves to have
have
a thing wrong with her. This movie, it's like her face. But then she had.
Oh, in the movie, yeah.
And then, but on Bates Motel, she had that she had a breathing problem or something.
I think she had COPD. No.
Okay, it's been a while since I've seen Bates Motels, but I remember she always
had an oxygen.
She had a tank with her, right? She needed oxygen all the time. Yeah, I loved her on that show.
I really liked the first couple seasons of that show, and then it kind of just went off the rails for me.
I got through the end because I just wanted to see how they were gonna end this so differently than the movie. Yeah,
he killed his mother.
Just like let's wrap this up, people. But it was different at the time. Everybody's acting was great on that show, but and that's what I'm saying. So I've liked her since that show. So
yeah, same.
I didn't realize that was her until I saw her. I think I put it together that was her, but because I heard her voice, but I didn't see her till later in the movie.
I just realized she was just in. I don't know if you watched this on Amazon Prime. It was nominated for Oscar too. The Sound of Metal. She was in that recently.
I saw a trailer. I think I remember seeing her. I'm like, oh, she is.
Yeah, she was in that too. Who else is in this movie? We have,
and then we got
kind of the supporting cast. I don't really know. We have H.
We mentioned Dana Carvey, right? As I was kidding. James Halliday. Basically,
completely throw people off.
But yeah.
I love that actor. I don't know who plays.
I know. I forget
Holiday.
his name. He's a good actor too, and he doesn't do.
Yeah, he's
much.
so quirky.
He's perfect as him. I mean, we got Ben Mendelson as.
I love Ben Mendelson. I don't know why, I have this affection for him. Anything he does, I think is.
Did you
fantastic.
see him in that HBO special? HBO.
Well, first of all, I read the book,
Stephen King,
The Outsider by Stephen King. So I've read the book. So I watched the show, and I really loved him I thought he did a really good job embodying the character. I'm sure someone's going to disagree with me, but I really liked the way he presented the character from the book. I liked that show a lot, and I hope someone else picks it up because I heard HBO is not going to pick it up for a second season.
Oh, another cast member we have to mention. Sorry, I agree with everything you said. I don't know what's going to happen with that show, but he was great in that show. He was. But I'm sorry, but the actor that is probably no longer acting because he got in trouble was TJ Miller, who was hysterical in this movie though, as what's his name? IROC?
IROC?
Yeah, because he has a funny joke. He goes like, because I rock or something like that, he says, which is really funny. And he goes like,
he's
how are
really
you
great
doing?
in
He's
this
like,
movie.
well, I got this carpal tunnel thing in my neck. You got to stand over here. I was cracking up because there's this big, like, demon looking guy. And then you think he's going to have this funny voice of like, something else. And it's just like, it's TJ Miller just talking like a normal guy.
Yeah.
So I thought that was such a funny thing.
He's like a hole in his torso, and then there's like a
they
little.
Do that even with H, right? They love to just show this like their bodies see through, which is a cool effect. But I'm like, they have to do it like for everybody. I guess that's how they are in the games, other games. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with those kind of games to know like.
Yeah, I don't know. I know like so Ben
that.
Mendelson, what's his character's name in the movie?
Oh gosh, I literally just watched it.
Wow, we're really really botching this. What's his name? Oh my god. He works for IOI, so his name's not IOI.
It's tip of my tongue.
Wow, this is
we'll come back
pathetic.
to it. It'll pop in my head. I'm just not.
Anyway, his avatar is like not Bizarro, but he's like bad Superman or evil Superman. I'm not a huge Superman fan, but that's what his avatar
is that what it's supposed to be? With the little less
so, yeah.
I just thought he's a businessman. That's how I took out as a big business.
No, I think he's supposed to be like bad, like evil Superman. I don't think it might not be on purpose. It just might be like an accident, but I think it's evil Superman.
But his character looks, I like how they kind of blend their realistic kind of facial features into these characters a little bit for some of them. Obviously, for especially Artemis, like she's pretty much dead on.
Yeah, they did like the use of mocap and CGI in this movie is
it's
amazing.
Incredible. I'm blown away every time I watch it too. The special effects of this movie.
I always say,
and the sceneries of them interacting with real scenery, that I don't know how they did.
Oh, I don't know.
We've seen it now with like Marvel movies where you have Thor. Oh my gosh. Thanos, and like they interact with them, and it's like we kind of already accepted that we're at that point where they're believable CG characters, but like it was weird because they're supposed to be CG characters in this very high graphic video game world. So it's like it's okay to look just a little imperfect for that. And it works perfectly for the movie. And I thought it was interesting how they would just kind of jump into these real places that you can tell are just real footage. And it's like they're interacting with that, and it's just kind of like messes with your head a little bit. Like, what's real? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. I think we touched on the main cast. There's like H and like Gaito
Sorrento
and Show.
There we go.
Oh yeah, Sorrento.
Well, I told you it's gonna come out of
Nolan
nowhere.
Sorrento, that's his name.
Nolan Sorrento. There we go.
Nolan Sorrento.
And you should know Nolan because I think Christopher Nolan, he was in Dark Knight Rises.
Of course.
Like, your plan didn't work.
Oh yeah, he's
like,
yes, he is in the Dark Knight Rises.
That? And he goes like, I am Gotham second. He's like,
I forgot about that. Have you ever seen not to talk too much about Ben Mendelson, but have you ever seen A Place Between the what's that Ryan Gosling movie? A Place Between the Pines or something like that? He's very good at it.
I think I've only seen those three things so far: the HBO, this, and
he was in Rogue
Batman.
One.
Which one?
Rogue One.
And Rogue One. Sorry, 4 things. Well, he's like he was like on fire the last couple of years. Since then, I think Batman kicked him off, and then he's just been like one after another after that. And he's been around for a while. I know that, but I'm just saying for us seeing him in more bigger roles
like big things. Yeah. But let's dive into like the story, the scenes and story. And
okay.
First, let's do this first. Let's talk about the score, because
I was going to say score and soundtrack. I also want to get to after that.
Let's talk about that first, because I think with a lot of the movies we talk about, they don't have like have phenomenal scores. Like, especially what it was last movie we talked about. We're Back.
I like the score. Come on. Come on.
And Wedding Singer before that didn't have much of a score, but it had a good soundtrack. This movie has
it's
both.
all in the soundtrack. Yeah.
This movie has both. Well, first of all, oh my God, my brain with names today. The orchestration was done by.
Can I say it?
Do it. Say it, because my brain is like dead. I can't think of it. Alan Silvestri. Oh my God.
Which is clearly the only person you can get away with using, using the sound clips they used in this movie.
Yes.
So use the guy who wrote the other sound clips.
I love the little nods, like they do. Like in Back to the Future, there's the little like the chimes,
the
and
bells
they do it
and
in
stuff.
this,
They
and
borrow a little bit here and there. Yeah, it's very much a Back to the Future score in this movie.
Yeah, which I mean we love, so I appreciated it a lot because it makes me happy.
Oh yeah, and that was the biggest thing I took away from this movie. I was just like, was it excessive? I don't think so.
No,
but I liked that they put it in there. And at the very end, they get like thrown in the truck or something, and it's like done it. It's like I think it's like something from the Back to the Future, and I'm like, that's
like
cool.
the Libyan chase scene. I feel like
it reminds me of like the Biff chase scene or something.
Yeah,
like it's just like done it, like him skateboarding. I mean, you could have just put the Back to the Future score in this movie. I think no one would care.
I wouldn't have.
I would love it.
I would have been like
the whole movie. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
I think it would work perfectly.
I agree. But the soundtrack, so
it opens with Jump. And
yes, it does.
I love it.
Oh, it fits so that opening scene to tie it into the scene itself. I love the way the scene opens, and you get him narrate, like he's the narrator, of course.
Yeah.
And like, this is my life. Like I'm glamorous in this like VR world, and my real life kind of sucks.
It kind of reminds me of a Back to the Future Part 2 kind of thing, where they open with the date and then they talk about, but not really. I don't know. It's just kind of this cool title kind of wait for it. I like how they kind of do this weird thing where they give you the setting of the title of the place and date, and then they talk about, like you said, the narration of Wade talking and setting up the world and the story, and then they go into the whole premise of them trying to find the Easter eggs and the keys in the Oasis, and then we have Holiday giving that speech of his his will. And I love it just cuts to Ready Player One. Like it's not in the very beginning.
Yeah.
Like it's after all of that. Then we're like, okay, now the movie can start.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah. Which I think it goes along with that
also,
this is
video
like
games
a game.
do that
It's
kind
like
of.
start now.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Like,
and something I just read online was the title scroll. The title itself is a maze with an Easter egg.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like in the R, in the P, no wait, in the O, in Ready Play in 1, there's an Easter egg, and if you could draw into like a maze to the Easter egg.
That's crazy.
They really thought about it.
I don't got time for that, but I'm sure people figured it out.
I'm sure
I
they
don't
did
get
too.
any Easter egg for real. That's just something special for the creators.
Yeah. Soundtrack. What else is in this movie?
Okay, so a lot of 80s, from beginning to end, and they're just in 70s, Staying Alive.
Oh, yeah, you got
that dance scene.
Saturday Night Fever dance scene.
They just kind of pop up. Oh, and then that battle scene we got, Twisted Sister, and that's always like it pumps you up. There's just like I said, it's a roller coaster ride. So like I said, like the score is just kind of supporting all of that kind of stuff. That kind of separate. I think there's another cool song I'm missing, but I think it's like right before this. I think it's right before he goes to the dance, to the club. There's a song he's like getting ready to. I'm blanking on what it is though.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is either.
But that's
Buckaroo
good.
Banzai outfit.
Yeah. Yes. Have you seen Buckaroo Banzai?
I was going to ask you, have you seen it? I've never seen it.
Oh,
It's
I
back
have.
here somewhere.
Finally, the first time a couple years ago.
I haven't.
Yep. Oh, there it is.
I haven't seen
Perfect.
it. Buckaroo
Oh my
Banzai.
gosh. That movie's something else. That's all I could say.
It looks like
I feel like you would love it, but it's just so bizarre. And it has like it has a crazy cast in it. And all I have to say is you're gonna just get the song at the very end of this movie stuck in your head forever.
Okay.
I can't even do it anymore, but every time I watch it, I just crack up because it's just one of those things when you watch, you're just like, what is this? But it's just perfect for what the movie is.
You gotta watch it.
So recommend watching that with a few drinks and stuff, and just sit back and try to enjoy it.
Maybe we'll do an episode on it.
I think we should. And I think we got into watching it because of Ready Player One. We're like, they talk about Buckaroo Banzai, and I've heard about it.
I've never heard about it until I watched
it's such an
Ready
80s
Player One.
thing.
They're like, Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, it's based on a comic and stuff, so it's weird.
I didn't know that.
Yes, bizarre. But yeah, back to the movie. So the first thing I think I just like, it just basically just made me like feel like a kid again, was right when they start with the first game of him doing the car race, because we all grew up with car race games.
Yeah,
whether it was 80s.
I was a big Gran
games,
Turismo gal in the like late 90s.
Cruising USA we had, right? That was a big one. I mean, Mario Kart, I think, is probably our favorite racing game that we grew up on. But it was just like seeing that on steroids, and you're just sitting watching him trying to just win a race.
Yes.
And this
surrounded by all these like iconic
and it takes place
cars.
in New York, and it's like, yeah, and then you feel like you're in Universal Studios, basically, like in a trailer, right? Just going alongside with him for the run, and he's in the freaking DeLorean. That's his car choice.
Yes.
Like, who like just was like, what if like he drove the DeLorean and it was like King Kong just kind of popped up? It's like a 7-year-old just like with toys just playing, and it's so fun.
Well, it's clearly Spielberg going, what about all these? Well, I don't know.
It's a toy chest.
This is in the novel,
movie, basically.
But
yeah.
Yes. And it's also Steven Spielberg, loving himself.
Oh, yeah. But that's like, I think for us as kids with the big toy, like I said, when I was at your party and that toy chest got dumped out, I'm like, this is Ready Player One. This is it. But everybody is one of these toys, Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really all it is.
Plus, like, so in that scene alone, if you were to pause it and see all the iconic cars around him, like it's crazy, awesome. All of the references that they're
you
making
have to keep pausing
in that scene.
And looking through everything that's there. It happens so fast. You catch the Batman from Adam West's Batman. There's
Speed Racers cars in there.
I think is Knight Rider in there?
I don't think so, but I think they do make a Knight Rider reference, but I don't know where.
Okay. There's so much going on.
I don't think the car is in there.
Yeah. But you see so much, and like just the fact that he's driving the DeLorean makes me happy. And that cool move where he just takes the wheels and puts it to hover just to kind of cruise under. Like, come on. Nothing gets better than that. Come on. That puts a big smile on my face.
Yeah, because it's not like they just used the DeLorean. Like they used the DeLorean and, they made it a giant Easter egg of references of things that we are familiar with the DeLorean. Yeah.
And it's funny how like they know the world so well and how fast paced it is. Like they're just doing all these things so quickly as a player of Oasis. Like it's so clever how they could just think on their feet.
The idea is also that so no one's ever gotten past this level, right? So like they've done this probably so many times that it's just like,
you're right, good point,
ingrained and like natural to them. Like they can't get past King Kong at the end of the level, and no one has. So they just do the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah. But the depth, that's what I'm saying. It's brilliant. Like the depth of that, like the fact that you just said, as a video gamer, I was thinking this the other day. I haven't played Mario 1 in, I don't know, a couple of years now.
Mm-hmm.
but I can play that game with my eyes closed. It is like, I don't know if you ever seen me play that game. Like it's
The original
just,
Mario?
I just go through it.
Yeah.
So it's just like I beat the game in like, well, I use all the warps or whatever, but I beat in like 5 minutes if I can. I could just go through it that fast. And I'm thinking, like, as you said, they just know everything. They know where all the steps and all the craziness is about to happen and what all these people can be thinking strategy wise, what to do in this car race. And then like, you know, I don't know. It's such a video game thing that goes on there, and it's so fun to see on that level and to be just enjoy the ride.
Yeah. But they don't beat it.
But
right?
did you want to
Like
talk about the
opening?
Easter egg of that race? So how he discovers
like
that,
at the end of the level?
secret,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And that's
So
such
then,
a video game thing.
Well, let's talk about how he gets there first, right? Because they do the level, they don't beat it, and then he goes. They have like archives of Holiday's memories to do research in, and that's where he
so cool.
hears the Easter egg for the first, like not the Easter egg. He hears the clue for the Easter egg for the first time.
I wish I had that journal museum for myself, because I forget everything all the time. I need to go back and see what the hell I said or what I needed to go, what mistakes I made. Just like, well, that happened. We can erase that. But like, yeah, this is a good part. I could watch that again. We can watch that a few more times.
I mean, that would be great.
Yeah, it's such a clever idea to like literally just put his memories and all of his clues. Like he knew his life was going to be a journal for everybody to just figure out how to win a game. Yeah. Crazy idea.
There's a Black Mirror episode where people have like an implant that like records their whole life and memories, and you can like go back and watch them and all that
Makes
stuff.
sense. I need
but
it.
Yes, so he is ready to start the next race to beat the level, and he remembers that he heard at the archives that Holiday said that I think the line is like, I wish I can go back really fast or something like that.
Yes.
Right. So like basically go backwards. So instead of going forwards on the track, he starts to floor it backwards and in reverse.
Just put the pedal to the metal. Huh? Bill and Ted did it. Love that line.
Does he say that?
Oh yeah. That's why I laughed so hard.
I'm surprised I missed that.
He says a Bill and Ted reference. Like, Christ.
Yeah, I'm surprised I missed it. But yeah, so he goes backwards, and he in turn just flies to the very finish line of the race. Sorry, I gasped and choked.
And that was such a thing that in a video game that, I don't know, watching that in the screen, like it had me like what's that, like, oh my god, how come I can't believe I'm seeing this, because I'm like, that's something a video gamer always loves seeing, like something just so like not playing the game, just like cheating, and we love to just like figure out all the secrets, and to go backwards to beat the level. That's such a funny idea, and I love it, and it's perfect.
I always think of there's that one Mario Kart 64 level with the desert where at the train track, and if you like veer off at a certain spot, you like go right. Yeah,
it's what we used to do, the Rainbow Road cheat, where if you just jump off the right in the beginning, if you jump off the track, and we'd all do it at the same time. I'd always lose. I would always miss it. But like, if you just jump at the right angle, the right trajectory, you just go right and land right on like the end part of the course. So you're almost like a whole lap ahead of everybody. And I would always fall. And if you fell, you had to start all over again. So it's just funny. I think that's the first thing I thought of. You're right. It's like that cheat that we always do in the beginning of that course. So yeah. But anyways,
Parsival gets the Easter egg.
Yes.
And he gets the next clue, and then he blabs and tells his friends, and his friends get the next clue.
And he starts getting all this stuff.
Yes, he gets a lot of like in-game money to buy stuff. So he starts buying like I guess
Yeah,
so. Like
power
in
ups
the
in the
outside
game and
world,
Oasis. Mhm.
yeah, and you can also get stuff on the outside of like in real life, like suits that like make you feel people like things when you touch them and like all this fancy stuff. So he starts getting all of those things. He also meets Artemis, which we didn't mention. So he meets Artemis in the very beginning.
Right. During that first run of the game.
Yeah. He stops her from getting demolished by King Kong, because when you essentially die in the game, you level out and you lose all your stuff that you've collected, and you have to start from the bottom and build yourself up, much like you do in a video game usually.
I find that very depressing though, and they show you how crazy people get. Like that one guy wants to jump out of the building. Like,
Yes,
no!
yeah.
How
The scene where these people are like sad and crying.
Also a video
and, like,
game
screaming.
thing. We all think
Yeah.
our world's over. So.
I have awful experience playing Dark Souls, the video game, and like when you die in that game, you'll lose all your souls, and it's very frustrating because you now have to go back and find them and collect
them. In the Oasis, you lose your actual soul.
Yes, basically.
Yeah, but it's
Your
like real money
soul.
that like his fake his aunt and uncle that have to like use the money for the house, and it's like that's like kind of the actual, responsibility of being a good gamer in this world. It's crazy.
Yeah, you have to like spend money to have power-ups and good weapons and good gear. But you're spending your like real money to do that, and it's like your whole life.
It's crazy.
Yeah. What's the next clue? The second clue.
Second clue is when we get to finally your, I think, more memorable part, which is they're trying to figure out the whole leap not taken, and that
the creator that hates his own creation.
Yes, creator that hates his own creation. So that was a nod to reference to the Shining, because it was Stephen King's clue or whatever. That was what
he
Stephen
doesn't
King's
like the Shining movie,
but he likes the book.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So they need to figure that out and find out where Holiday hid the next clue. The leap not taken was he went out on a date with a female and didn't kiss her. So
did we skip over that part? Yeah, a little bit. Because they go to the club first thinking that was the second clue. So they wanted to dance, and they thought it was the leap in the dance. I was going to say, we kind of skipped over that, which is okay. But like that was, if we just kind of back up there a little bit, and that was where they decided to do that. It's him just basically having romantic feelings more for Artemis, and they have this crazy dance number with Staying Alive, which I thought was fun and enjoyable. But you get to the best part of that. He
tells Artemis Zemeckis Cube.
The Zemeckis Cube, of course.
The Zemeckis Cube.
Yeah. I love how she says,
Cube is a Rubik's
and you get
Cube.
the music. Yep. It's just like the Zemeckis Cube. And it's like, but like they call it a Zemeckis Cube. I'm thinking like, what is it really called? A Rubik's Cube? And I'm like, oh, I guess that sounds like Zemeckis. I don't know. Like where they came up with that idea.
I think it's more about like, I don't know. I don't get it.
And it's like, I don't know. That was the only thing that kind of threw me off. I'm like, whatever. And it's just like, I wish it was like a clock or something he threw up in the air, like a Zemeckis clock or something. That would make more sense to me. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, right now, if you were to ask me what are Zemeckis movies, I could name Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Back to the Future, and then my mind goes blank. I know.
Mama always said, life is like a box of chocolate. No, we know that.
Yes, it's a Zemeckis movie. So I don't get the Rubik's Cube thing. I love it, every second of it. And it turns back time. It's great. It's fantastic. Yeah. I love it. I don't get it, but I love it.
Castaway. That's the other Tom Hanks Zemeckis movie that comes to mind. Anyways.
Oh, yes. Actually, I've been like dying to watch that movie recently.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good movie. It's very depressing, but it's good.
Yeah, of course, but it's enjoyable, entertaining. So now sorry. So we'll skip back to now. We can go back to The Shining.
Well, no, there's one more thing we should mention there. So, because everyone knows your avatar in this world, no one knows your real name. Wade decides to tell Artemis his real name, and Sorrento winds up overhearing it, and they are able to figure out his true identity, which isn't good because he's like on the leaderboard, and they need to eliminate him. So that's like a big thing that happens in that scene is like, now they're going to be after him in real life.
Yeah.
which isn't
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And we also find
And
out about
shows
Artemis's like family and how they are in debt to Sorrento, and his father, her father, like basically died at the IOI facility.
Yeah, that's sad biz.
Very sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so second challenge, they finally figure out that the leap not taken is a date that Holiday went on, and then they were at a screen. They went to go see The Shining, so they transport to The Shining, which to me, I don't know how they did it. It's probably all CGI, obviously, but it looks so good.
Yeah, I've never seen The Shining, so I felt it's funny. I think it was kind of smart how they did this, because if you're familiar with The Shining and you love it, like, you're gonna get everything. But they did this great idea where it's like, well, the character H, who's like the biggest, strongest character of all of them, is never seen it, and it's just like, okay, what am I in for? And that's how I felt. I'm like, I knew most of these things because I've seen it in pop culture, like you said, or I've seen it throughout the years. But it's like, I don't know when they happen, or like really the story. I just, Shining has very many famous lines and saying. So it's like, I was waiting for those things more, but it's just like all these other things, like, I think were more the Easter eggs of the movie, maybe not so much, but like, just not the most popular of the moments that happen. But they kind of tease the other, like, there's no here's Johnny, but you do see the axe and stuff. But like, I was waiting for that to happen, and it's
there
like,
wasn't really any
they just do the twins, and then they do like the shower scenes, and I was just like, yeah, this would be me in this situation. So I kind of related with that. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. So I think it was nice that they kind of had that balance. Like, okay, these are people trying to warn this guy or this character, like, what's possible. Like, hey, look out. Like, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah. I love that when H, I almost said, I said she, whatever. Anyway, when H
it
whispers,
is a she, technically. Yeah.
It's a she.
It's okay.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
She whispers, I've never seen The Shining. She like whispers it. Is it scary? Right? She's like,
Show says like, he's like, kidding me? I have to watch this movie through my fingers or something.
Because shows it.
It's like,
shows
is it
the
scary?
Kid.
It's like,
it shows like a little kid, right? So like,
it was a little kid, exactly.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't
you
make
have to pick
sense.
up on
Like,
that idea. It's like he's a little kid talking to him or her.
Yeah. So H goes on a whole adventure of like kind of popular Shining references. She has the shower scene. She gets the blood pouring out of the elevator. But she sees a picture of Ogden Morrow's wife, who Holiday goes on a date with.
You see, as Akira is her name.
Yeah, Kira. You're right.
And then
right.
like he splits the photograph perfectly somehow. While he's just accidentally running for his life. So it's like, oh, what a clue.
But basically, the leap not taken, they have to now go to, so the ballroom is a big part of The Shining.
Yeah.
They have to go to the ballroom and dance with zombies and find Kira and kiss her.
Yeah.
Which is,
I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy it, but it's not like, from just seeing that first Easter egg with the backwards cruising USA game, I was just like, this is all they got to do is jump on zombies. Like, I don't know, I just felt like it was like, okay, it wasn't my favorite. This is not my favorite. I love the whole Shining thing. I think that's hysterical, but I thought it would be some more clue of The Shining, and then they kind of just veer off in this, oh, you got to jump on a zombie, and I was just like,
I think it's because they created this on their own, so like this isn't in the novel, this second.
Yeah, but I believe the creator of the book had a lot in this kind of storytelling. Like, he understood that they were going to change all this, and he agreed to the process of this. I'm pretty sure he had a lot of say in this. I could be wrong. I just remember that I think he oversaw a lot of this in the movie, because he said like the first challenge in the book, I believe, is Pac-Man, and it's just like nobody wants to see a kid.
Oh, there's
Pac-Man.
Pitfall. Second one I think is Pitfall.
Or Pitfall. What is it? Yeah,
one
but
of them is Pitfall, which is my favorite video game of all time. I love Pitfall.
He admits like no one's gonna want to watch a kid just do this like in a read. It's a little different. Where visually that's not the most appealing. So they made a bigger, grander scale game for the Easter eggs.
Yeah, I mean, the second challenge, I love the aesthetic. I love seeing The Shining, but yeah, definitely whatever the Easter egg is in that one is lackluster.
Yeah, that was like not disappointed. I was just like, okay, all right. And then it was just like, you got the key. And it was like, all right, the challenge is jump on zombies, and then that's it. Which I mean, like I've seen, like kind of reminds me of other video game things where, have you ever played Crash Bandicoot?
Yes.
The second one, there's a secret warp island at one of my favorite levels. It's my favorite, one of my favorite levels ever in any game, where you ride the polar bear. Remember that?
Oh my god!
So at the end of this polar bear, and this is what I love about this movie, because it reminds me a lot of Crash secrets. Like the secrets in that game are awesome. So this secret I'm going to tell you about, like you have to, at the very end of this one level, I forget which one it is, bear down, I think, and then you have to get to the end. But you know how you would walk into that little like tunnel that would bring you back to the main menu screen of the levels. Instead of going through there to the warp, you walk backwards, and you have to jump on these like little individual aisles that you can't see them because of how the camera's set up. So you're guessing where they would be.
Oh.
And then there's like a bigger like central water in the middle of this kind of like, what do you call it? Iceberg? Is that where you have to jump on? But these little rocks, pillars that like in this, same as this, like if you jump on one, it starts to sink. So you got to jump off of it quick and then land right on the center of this. So it reminds me of that a little bit, which I do love in the game. But like for this, I don't know. It's just a little like, it was just kind of a weird turn for where you were just a minute ago in The Shining. Anyway,
I
that's
agree.
my spiel on that. So
no, I kind of
love
agree
it on
with
Crash,
you.
but this I was like, okay. Anyways, they got the key.
They got the key.
What color is this key? I think it's green, right?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know
like
either.
Green, red, green. Yeah, green. I remember everything was green. So, anyways.
What happens next? He gets the key. Oh, and Sorrento is the next scene when Sorrento bombs the stacks.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe. Yeah. So like, since Sorrento knows who he is,
this is when like the real world starts. It's like they take a break from Oasis, and there's some more real world stuff going on.
Because then he also gets taken by Artemis in the real
Artemis
world and her
real world, and apparently everybody lives next door.
Yeah, they all live near each other, which is weird. Yay!
Like, oh, we all live in the stacks here.
It's like, oh,
what
cool.
A coincidence. And the entire world, the main 5 characters all live next door.
Well, they never say where H and all those other
they say they were contacted
live.
and then met up, but I'm like,
but like they had
they were like states or countries.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
it's the future. We don't know what's going on.
Who knows? Yes, agreed. There's no way to tell what really is the world like in the real world. They don't explain much. But anyways, for this grand scale place in the real in the Oasis world, we get just the central stack place.
What's the next clue? I don't remember.
I mean, the next clue then is the final clue, which they don't get to right away because they kind of are dealing with the real world people, kind of have to get over that obstacle. So like the IOI is on top of it before they are. And they find out it's at that planet Doom or whatever it's called. And they're onto it's I forget what the clue is, but it's you have to something about it's not about winning, it's about playing.
Yes.
So they're going through all the old games that James Halliday used to play as a boy to see which one he wanted to beat there, and they think they had to beat one of the old Atari 1600 games because that one had all of them or something like that. I could be wrong. Someone's going to correct me on that. I don't care. But that's basically what they have to do for this last final challenge to get the last Easter egg key.
Yes.
So, and before that happens, what happens? TJ Miller says some funny words to protect them playing because they know that Artemis gets captured, but what's his name? Obviously Parzival is now having a plan to try to obviously win the game, but also try to take over, try to get past IOI from doing it first. So he rounds up the troops basically, and they start the war.
Yes. and like every pop culture reference is in that battle scene.
Yeah, this is when the toy box basically comes back.
Yeah, it like spills out. Also, I love the orb of Osvox. I don't know if that's a reference. The orb of Osvox.
Right, that's what I meant. The orb to protect
I love
that place that of
yeah, it puts like a force field around it.
Iceberg where they're playing.
And it can only be opened and broken with a spell, which I'm sure is a reference to something that I don't know.
I'm sure.
But I just love the orb of Osvox. I love saying it. It's so fun.
Yeah.
But in that scene alone, the final battle, there are so many Easter eggs and references to other things. Like not only like the in your face ones, like you have Chucky in your face, Iron Giant, Mecha Godzilla. But there are just like so many, like
30 of them offhand.
Yeah. I think
you got Battletoads. I was like, what? Battletoads are in this? Like, I love that game. And like, there's Battletoads in this. And then there was, you ever play Battletoads?
No.
My God. We should play
Battletoads. I love the reference. They had do you know the squishy ball with the face in it?
Yeah, I remember that as a kid too.
Man ball, man had something. I don't know. Yeah.
That was like a bomb. Like, yeah, that was clever. But like Mega Godzilla, I think my friends had that Godzilla toy, or just see him at the store all the time. And then like, Gundam. That Saito becomes. It's so freaking cool and fights Mega Godzilla. He's one of the Gundams. But also the Iron Giant. Like, who thought of that guy?
Yeah, like I don't think I've had a thought about the Iron Giant since I saw it when I was a kid.
Yeah. And it should have been voiced by Vin Diesel in this movie, I think.
It should have, because I love Vin Diesel.
Do you think though he was just gonna be like, I am Giant? And he's just like, the only way we can win is with family.
There is something Fast and Furious behind me somewhere. I'm not sure where.
Well, it's probably next to the Jurassic Park because they want to blend it with that. So that makes sense.
That would be the highlight of my life.
I can't believe I read that the other day.
Amazing. I love
there's
it.
Chucky. That's also in the movie. And there is Beetlejuice behind you, by the way. And he is also in the movie.
He is. He's in like the background somewhere.
Gordo is in the beginning too. She pretends to be Gordo and then the alien pops out of her. I forgot about that too.
Oh, really yes. You're right.
Yeah, and then the newer model of the Ninja Turtles are in this, which I was like, all right, whatever. That just came out a few years ago.
Probably because they're a Universal franchise.
Correct. I thought they're Paramount, but I think that's still owned by them.
No.
Those are Paramount movies because Nickelodeon owns them. Yeah.
I there has to be some sort of like deal or.
I was going to say, obviously, they just want to use them for this movie, just to have kids to see, like, oh, I know them. I felt that way too, but I was like, all right, it's cool. They put them in there. Batman's popping up, and Batgirl, Joker, I think is in there somewhere. There's a bunch of the DC characters pop in there. There's probably a million more. You got to really kind of squint and just kind of.
You have to freeze with a every frame of this movie.
See who's in the background. Yeah. And there's just like, I think made up characters for fun, probably.
Oh, probably just to fill
because
space.
It's like the avatar is like you can be whatever you want to be, and you can mix and match. It doesn't have to be, but it's funny that they're all just like regular characters.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna assume like
well,
if you want to be like an iconic character, you probably need to like buy it or find it and collect it. Like
right, just like a regular DCL game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Download your characters. DLC. Did I say that right?
DLC.
Was it
No,
DLC? Download character, right? That's what I mean. Download a character. I don't know.
I think so. Like, yeah, DLC. I'm not a big video game person.
I used to download the characters when they're already in the game. All right, I didn't have to like buy or try to get more. I would just play as that character because that's what the game was.
Basically, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Parzival finally gets to the Atari system.
Yes.
And he realizes that it's not about winning the game. It's just about playing.
Never winning, right? It's about playing.
Yes. And oh my God, what's the name of the game?
It's Adventure.
Yeah. So you have to play Adventure, and there is the very first Easter egg that you have to find in the game, which says the creator's name. So that's how you win Holiday's game is you play Adventure and find the Easter egg. So Parzival does it.
And that reminds me of like a Mario thing too. I think Mario had like all of those kind of Easter eggs. I forget which one it is. It's like you get to a certain board and they have just like somewhere in the name of something. I forget what it is.
I don't know.
They say like Nintendo. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've done all that stuff, but I kind of miss that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if there's Easter eggs in like newer video games. There probably
is, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
These kids don't play video
enough.
games anyways. They just watch people play video games.
Oh, true.
Or none at all. They just, I don't know what they're doing.
Watching YouTube.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Not to drag kids, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, whatever. That's fine.
He beats it, and then he meets Holiday, who may or may not be dead. What?
It's like an AI
like,
of him that kind of exists for the game for him to just interact with something.
I guess.
Like his body
like,
is dead, but
dead?
his mind,
and he's like, meh.
in this kind of like, he's like a program basically that is kind of just an AI version of him. That's how I took it. And he even says like, "What are you?" And he doesn't even answer him because probably didn't know the
true.
answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't know the answer.
They're
not
like,
programmed.
We don't know either.
Not
so
programmed to say
have a good one. See you later.
But he tests him to do similar to kind of like Willy Wonka's test.
Willy Wonka.
He tests him to, he does the similar thing that he did.
Can you imagine if he signed it and then Holiday just goes, "You lose." Good things.
You lose.
And the credit rolls. And it's just a game over. That's the movie.
That's really funny.
It was the trick
I love
all
Willy
along.
Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
I know.
Oh, so good. What was I gonna say? But yeah,
But you're saying the ending is a test with this contract that he has to sign.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, it
and
can't happen this way.
This is the part I don't understand. So Parcel has
Okay.
the option to turn off the Oasis,
Yes.
which would have made sense, right? Like it's very toxic. But instead, he just closes it 2 days a week, which I'm like, did we learn anything here?
Well, like he did. I think he does because he's just like, I have this power now, and that would be too much power. And this is like giving a balance of what people need and what people want.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right. You're right.
At least that's what I take away from it. You're right. Like, what's the point of that? He's like, I have unlimited power. I could take this all away and give people back the real world.
Unlimited power.
Yeah. He goes like, and his face just melts into whatever. But it's just, I don't know if that's like, I just watched it just now. By the way, I get so emotional at the end of this movie. I don't know. Did you? I don't know why. Maybe watching it today. I hadn't seen it in a while. Maybe I just missed being in the movies.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Holiday, like watching his younger self and that whole scene, like really gets me for some reason.
Like that's what it was for me. Like I miss video games, being a kid playing video games like that. I don't know. I get emotional seeing that scene.
Just playing.
And just the music is awesome
like nowadays,
too. That's Sylvester.
Silly Sylvester.
They use the clarinet score. Like I love when they use the clarinet. I love it. Put it in every movie, please. Oh,
I mean,
so
I don't
good.
know what he scored before this movie.
Probably a Marvel movie.
Oh, right. You're right.
He's been doing all those.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Or in between,
Yes.
I'm sure.
Yeah. You're right. I forgot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the movie ends and it ends happy. They close.
Yeah. So before we get to that, though, I'll just kind of wrap up that ending in the van. Like that's such a Goonies moment. Basically, with the dad at the end of Goonies, where he goes like, "It's like no sign," like the lady, and he goes like, "This will never happen again," and he throws up the paper in the air, and you clearly see paper getting thrown up from underneath. Like it makes no sense how he does it. It's like a confetti like machine doing it. I love that scene in Goonies. But like this whole movie is like Goonies because it's like getting the task to get to the treasure, and that's exactly what this is based on. So it's like who better to do that? I mean, it's not Spielberg who directed Goonies, but it's Richard Donner. But still, like it's Spielberg that did that movie. He was very much involved in that movie. So it's a lot like that, and I got a Goonies vibe at the very end of this movie. It felt like Goonies to me. Just like the criminals, get arrested. It's just like the kids have a happy ending, and it's just, and the message was, like I said, like I love that ending where he's just like, oh, we close the Tuesdays and Thursdays to get back to reality a little bit for the good times that we have.
Yeah.
And then it ends with what song, Becky? Well, you got that might be hard
to handle. Like
we talked about that song in a recent episode.
Handle. Yes, Wedding Singer. So you know why Steven Spielberg put that song in the credits?
Wait, say that again.
Do you know why Steven Spielberg put that song in the credits?
Make my dreams come true. Because he made his dreams come true.
I mean, it makes sense, but it's because the writer of the novel walked down the aisle with his wife to that song at their wedding, and he thought it would be a nice little Easter egg.
Oh.
You know who we can talk about?
I'm surprised he didn't put. What's that?
No, you go first. Go ahead.
Surprised he didn't put that song Peter Cottontail at the end.
Why?
Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Hippity hoppity, Easter's on its way.
Easter eggs on its way.
No? Okay. Not buying that.
But a bunch.
It came out in March too, I think. So Easter was on its way.
So Easter, perfect.
Probably.
What was I going to say? I don't remember.
You were going to say something about... we didn't mention something.
We didn't talk about Simon Pegg at all. We didn't talk about Ogden Morrow's
role
role
I was saying,
this whole movie.
I was saying what a twist that was too. I'm like, how did I not pick up on that? Did you not know that?
I was so surprised. I was like, wait, what?
I felt like an idiot. I'm like, this guy is clearly that accent in every other movie I've seen him.
I know.
Accent.
I love Simon Pegg, and in my head I was like, why did they cast him to have 30 seconds of screen time?
And he's in it the whole movie. Yeah. And I'm like, secretly. Well, not, the whole movie, but
not secretly, but like
a lot of those little scenes that are perfect for what, know.
But so basically
like the key, his character is like key to the whole,
he
that connects it all.
He is the curator, right, of the Holidays Museum, and he gives Parzival a extra life for outsmarting him with holiday knowledge, and the extra life comes into play because he essentially dies when he goes to play adventure, and he uses the extra life, and he's able to play win.
I had a question about that, and I was thinking about this maybe today. So like, if you're wiped out, but he had that extra life, so he comes back, but does he lose everything?
I don't think so, right? Because extra life
But he doesn't lose the keys.
No. So I don't think he did lose anything. I think the extra life just kind of brought him back to life.
Because I remember everything was wiped out on the score, but the keys were there. That was the only thing that I kind of was confused about.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think that's a plot hole.
It could be.
Because you would technically lose the keys. You'd have to start all over again. And then you get the extra life to start it all over again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I had to ask the creator on that. They thought about that, and they're just like, we got to just wrap up things here. He got the 2 keys. He's right.
He comes back to life. Oh, well,
it's kind of like, I think other video games where you collect those things save, but everything else, like coins and stuff, you lose. Like, it's in like your bank. I think about like that big Mario, like the third one especially. You would have like all the items that you would get along the way, but you can lose all your coins and all your lives, and to start over. I don't know. I forget, that might reset as well in your item bank.
I remember.
I want to know. I don't know. Somebody on the feed there, tell me.
Yeah, someone let us know. Oh,
nobody there. So, anyways,
in the comments, let us know.
But that's like maybe a little bit of the thing I just noticed.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It seems like a very small thing because, like, maybe it's possible he kept his items. I don't know.
Yeah, an extra life, yes, brings you back online, I guess. But it was just like, he didn't get wiped out.
Yeah.
I don't know. So anyways, that was the only thing I just kind of thought of today. Me, the overthinker.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. But now that you said it, I'm like, I wonder. I'm not sure.
Plot hole.
Not sure.
He should have fell through the ice.
I love when there's that whole group of IOI employees that are trying to figure it out, and they're like,
a
it's
bunch
not.
of ice holes.
Yeah. Oh, bunch of ice holes. Oh, what a joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this movie. You love this movie.
Oh, I love it. It's a good one.
Happy to always watch it whenever I can.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
If you're listening to this whole episode and you haven't seen it, and you have all these spoilers now, still watch it.
I highly recommend watch it with a friend.
Yes.
But if you can't, watch it on your own. It's still enjoyable.
It's so good. It's a great movie.
Yeah,
it's honestly,
like I'm saying, if you watch this, you know the movie. You just want to listen to our thoughts and likings of it. But just have fun.
Yeah, I think it's the best thing Spielberg has done in a long time.
It was very much a Spielberg. It felt very much like a return to Spielberg magic in movies for the newer generations, at least, and for the old ones too. Yeah. Fresh and fun.
Yeah, I mean, let us know if you don't agree with our thoughts, because I feel like this movie did well in the theaters, but I don't think it did that well as well as like we hype it up to be.
But I think for us, like, this was perfect. I think fans really enjoyed it, but also fans who were not maybe fans of the book, I think, enjoyed this better. I remember, I think I looked at reviews and people said, yeah, I read the book. I wasn't really into the book. And then they watched this and they felt it was a little bit better than the book. So I find that interesting. But I know people who really enjoy the book, but it's, like anything else that you read novel wise compared to a movie adaptation, that there's always going to be that kind of differences that you have to kind of get on board with. So
yeah. I don't know.
No, I have to read the book. I definitely need to still read the book. That may be one of my things to do.
Yeah, I've been saying that since I saw the movie.
Yeah, and I think Ready Player 2 is going to come out soon, or like, I mean, like, they're working on it. I think
I've heard about
2.
it. Yeah. But I'm not.
Can you imagine? It's just like, instead of Parzival, it's like, I don't know, Luigi. I don't know.
Like Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tails or Knuckles.
Parzival died. The second guy has to take his turn now.
Oh no!
Did you always hate that, Mario? Like, I play with my brother, and you're the second player. Like, you have to wait for them to die, and then you get to play wherever you last were at. It's like,
no, I think fun. I hated Sonic and Tails more, because when you play as Tails and they leave you, you get left behind, and then you have to like wait till they stop so you could catch up. And it's like, why am I playing this game?
that can cause a lot of sibling rivalry in about 5 seconds. Come on!
And I never got to be the first player ever. I was always
wish you saw Sonic in this movie or someone like that, but or Mario, but you can't. You just couldn't because of the
who knows how they got the rights to have this stuff.
But yeah. Anyways, I do have to get going, and I love this is a good one. I enjoyed this one.
Yeah,
I'm glad we got around to do it. So yeah.
Yeah, same. But yeah, next week we got something planned.
Yes, it's gonna be Jaws
for y'all.
And and James can't wait.
Yes. It's not going to be Jaws. We're not doing Jaws. This gag has to end.
It's going to be called Dentures.
Instead of Jaws.
Yeah.
Oh man. Just a shark rolling around with
just old people just reaching out of the water trying to...
Oh no. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Steven Spielberg brings you Dentures, coming this fall to a theater near you, or a nursing home near you.
A nursing home sounds more accurate. Yeah. But yes.
Anyways,
thanks for listening.
I gotta go. All right, so.
Thanks everyone. We'll see you.
Thanks, friends in time.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Bye.
See you later.